Hey everyone, it's Kelsey, and today I am going to be doing a video on my first 7 weeks of pregnancy. It's kind of really surreal that this is actually happening. It's starting to hit me a little bit more every day. We're really excited, and it's hard to explain how excited I am. At the same time, I'm so terrified, and still at the same time I kind of don't believe it, but we're so excited. We found out on February 11th that I'm pregnant, and my neighbors are deciding to hammer now, but hopefully it won't be too loud. We found out on February the 11th. I took a test really early that morning. The only reason I tested is because it was the longest my period had gone, so I tested. And I was not expecting a positive result, just because when you've done this we've done it for 2.5 years, so you just kind of expect every time for it not to be, but it was. So we had just done a little cheap test, like a little 88-cent ones from Walmart, because we've wasted a lot of money on pregnancy tests over the last 2 years. So we've gotten to where if we do test, which we don't test that often, when we do, we would use the cheap ones, and we were like, oh, this is positive, let's go get a real one. So we got a first response, and it was positive as well. Okay, like right as the went across, it showed right up. So we still don't know exactly how far along I am. We're guesstimating about 7 weeks, according to my last cycle. So yeah, that's what. Really excited. Sorry, I'm trying to get my brain to wrap around. I did have some notes on my phone, so that way I make sure to actually get it out. Oh yes, I have already been to 2 doctor's appointments. They were both still just testing. And then we have our first ultrasound on the 8th, which is in about a little over a week. So yeah, we're really excited about that. It's crazy. But once we found out, we immediately told our immediate family, like my parents and my sister and his mom and his sister. We still haven't told very many people outside of that group. We want to do a big announcement. Hopefully we'll be doing the announcement right after the ultrasound, and because we have some pictures we want to take, and that's how we want to announce it. So we haven't announced it to our Facebook world or anything yet, but the way I told our families was we got a Thanksgiving outfit because it's due on October the 12th as of this due date. So it would need a Thanksgiving outfit. So we got a Thanksgiving outfit, and we let our little fosters give that to them and say, we're going to need this. And it was great. Yeah. Sadly, my daddy is not local, and he is in Florida, so I had to do his over the phone, but he was still excited as well. He didn't quite get it the first time I said it, but he thought I was talking about something about my sister who's also pregnant, but I was like, nope, it's me. So yeah, right now the baby is the size of a blueberry, which is crazy. It's so little. But we've been kind of trying to explain it to our nieces and nephews and stuff. They don't really understand. Some of them have seen pregnant people, whatever. But some of the littler ones, they don't quite get it. And when I was talking to my nephew about what size it is, I was like, yeah, it's the size of a blueberry. And he was like, really? And I was like, yeah, the size of a blueberry. And me and my husband have kind of been started to call it blueberry because that's just kind of what's happened this week. But we've been calling it blueberry. Oh, but it's so exciting. Oh, sorry. I'm not really focused. Well, let's talk about symptoms, because I have not had a whole lot of symptoms. And any of the symptoms I've had have been stuff that could be associated with my period. So I didn't have any symptoms to be oh, it's going to happen this month before I took my test. So whenever I took my test, the only reason I took it is because it's the longest it's been. But before that I had breast tenderness, which I have that every period. Before that I had cramping, which I have every period. I'll cramp for a whole week before my period. But the cramping has still continued. The breast tenderness still has continued since we took the test, and so it's the actual, pregnancy symptoms. But the cramping luckily has slowed down a little bit because it was at some points pretty strong. I mean, kind of concerning a little bit, but I never had any bleeding or anything, or real strong ones. But just when you cramp, sometimes it just worries you. Especially, I mean, I'm a worrywart, so it worried me. I mean, I've only had a few times where I was like, ooh, that doesn't smell good. And one of them happened even before I took my test, but I didn't think nothing of it. I used to work at Applebee's in high school, and the smell that you would smell like when you came out of Applebee's because of all the food was disgusting. We picked up Bojangles and brought it back to the house, and I was sitting there eating it, and I got done eating it, and it was sitting on like just the leftovers and the boxes was sitting on the table, and I literally had to push the table away because it just smelled so bad. But it wasn't like a throw up, it just smelled bad. Because it smelled like Applebee's. And then another thing that happened before I took the test, which, I mean, it's not really a symptom, but Juliet, our dog, one of our fosters, well, both of our fosters have started doing it. We're trying to deal with it, but they've started, like, hitting and stuff, and one of them hit me, and as soon as that happened, Juliet jumped up in my lap, like, don't touch my mama. Like, don't you do that, which is different for her. And then also I was sleeping bad, but sometimes I sleep bad anyway, but I mean, I was like tossing and turning, like to the point where my husband was like, okay, what's going on, before I even tested. Since testing, I mean, I've been tired, but also I've been tired before I tested, so it's another one that's like, well, so, I mean, if you've watched my vlogs in the last little bit, you've known I've been tired, because I mean, it's exhausting raising 2-year-olds, especially trying to transition them into a new home, and all the stuff that goes into foster care. So I've already been really tired, and so the tiredness has continued, so I don't really know if it's necessarily a symptom, but I did start noticing like 2 or 3 days ago I have started bloating a little bit, but before that I had like none. But I've started bloating just a little bit, not a ton, but I have noticed I've bloated a little bit. In my 6th week, I had a lot of dizziness. It'll still happen a little bit now, but the dizziness is not as much, and yeah, that really isn't fun. So, but trying to focus, and it's difficult. But I've not really, I mean, that's about all I've got for the first little bit. It's been very quiet. I've not been super sick. I've not been super sick yet. We've just been trying to take it in and really realize what's going on. We're really excited. We've got lots of stuff that are going to have to change in the next little bit, just because this is a new person in our life. Or, I mean, at this point we don't know if it's 1 or 2, but we're assuming a new person in our life. So it's going to be an interesting year. An exciting, amazing year, and we're just praying that everything still goes good. And I am putting this on here a little bit early compared to what most people would say is okay, but in the TTC community, we're here to support each other. So I've watched others, and it has really helped me, so I wanted to share our journey with y'all, and hopefully you want to join along with us. If you do want to join along, hit that subscribe button. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and we're just really excited. Yeah, I don't know what else to say because I'm just so excited and scatterbrained. But I hope y'all enjoyed this video, and I can't wait to film my next one next week. And I will see y'all in my next video. Bye.